Hey everyone, this is CMonster80, otherwise known as Baymont LOL. I am doing a Nautilus video today. As you can see, I sped the video up because I determined that doing a 25 to 40 or 50-minute video was just too much. I didn't want to produce videos like that. That's not what I like to watch, and I think that as I start to maybe grow a fan base, it's probably not what they're going to like to watch. So what do we got here? Like I said, we got some Nautilus gameplay. I am using the Astro Nautalis skin, probably one of my favorite skins. I start with my W, my Titan's Wrath, and then I go to my E. And I mainly concentrate on my W and then my E. I do get Q at level 4, and that's for ganking. And you'll see that I do try to get off some ganks. The problem I've been having with Nautilus is Q is a skill shot. Excuse me. If you don't land it, basically you don't get a gank. That's kind of the way it works. But what Nautilus has going for him, in my opinion, is he is an incredible tank. He has a lot going. So here, as you can see, I get my first death, and my mistake in that particular incident was I went way too deep, way too deep. I even say it in chat that I got stuck on stupid because that's what happened. I was way too aggressive. When ganking, my rule of thumb tends to be if you draw a line from corner to corner on the minimap, if they're past the line, it should be not an easy gank, but it should be a gank that you'll be able to do fairly well. And as you can see, another thing that I try to keep doing is even if I'm ganking, I'm trying to keep my farm up. Now, I had originally looked at maybe going down to the bottom, and because I see Severe there, and there she is again. And I'm going to try to come up. Totally missed my skill shot. Again, when you miss that, it pretty much ruins the gank. I'm not going to lie and tell you that I'm the greatest Nautilus player ever. That skill shot, that was just a bad luck. That's not the case. I am still perfecting my skill shot with that. And if you look, our Mundo in this game was dying a lot. I mean a lot. But something else I wanted to point out, other than just the gameplay and the fact that I am trying to keep going. Here you can see Morgana kind of goes past that invisible line, but there's just no shot because I looked at Kassadin and his health was at a quarter and he had like no mana. Again, there goes Mundo dying again. So my worry in this game was we were already down 2-7. Mundo had died something like 4 or 5 times. I had died once. My worry was that we were going to get behind. But the thing I wanted to point out was Ashe in this game. WKNJS is the name of the player. Was so helpful with a Mundo who was really bad. Very bad. And didn't even understand what a support role was. They throughout the game they were stealing CS. They were dying. There he goes. He dies again. But luckily, Nidalee really takes charge of the game. Another thing is I'm level 7 at this point, and I have got no ganks. I want to point out that a successful gank is not necessarily you've killed the opponent. Sometimes it's chasing them out of lane, like happened right there. But you see here, this is one of the more successful ganks. We take out Volibear. Oh, I'm sorry, that was not... Never mind, that was not one of the more successful. That was a 2-for-1 trade. Nidalee and myself had died. But what it did was it stopped Voli's rampage, and that was what I was attempting to do. Is I went in to kill Volibear. Because I don't know exactly how many kills he had because I can't just bring it up, but he had a lot of kills, and he was running roughshod over us. And I needed to stop that. because this game is a game of momentum. It really, really is. And if your momentum falls off, you are going to have some serious issues playing and winning. So as you can see, as I said, I keep my jungle going, and I try my best to do the buffs. Now, the one thing in this game that I normally do is I normally share the buffs. Right there is a good catch. I caught Volibear. I kept him out. We're going after going after Kha'Zix, I think that's who that was. But we got Volibear again, and that's what we were going for. And the thing that I have noticed with ganking and not getting the ganks is when you push them out of lane and you get a summoner spell. It's not always about the kills. It's not always about the assists. Sometimes it is truly about just pushing them out of lane. Now, you just saw what happened. I flashed over the wall. I ran directly at the wall. I tapped my cursor right beside the wall because I knew that he would jump over the wall when I flash. Now what happened there is I forgot about Voli's passive that Nautalis telling me about. He regens 30% of his health. Now that comes into play here in a little bit when I go and I re-engage with Volibear, only this time I know I have an advantage. I have a health advantage, and I know I can do more damage to Volibear than he can do to me, percentage-wise of our healths. And that's why I engage him here. See, he picks me up, he tosses me, and I just go with him. I'm like, okay, you want to fight? Let's fight. And the reason I fought with him right there is because I knew. Now, of course, my skill shot was a little jacked up, but here's Nautalis in the taking my role, basically, and now we engage in a 3-on-2 fight. And there's a reason, because Volibear is already weak, because Rammus was actually behind in this game, and Nautalis was fed. So it was 2-on-3, but it was 2-on-3 in the sense that Nautalis and myself were both. Nautalis was fed, I was at where I should be, Rammus was way behind, Voli was at about a third of the health he should have, and Varus was probably at about 2/3. That is a good fight, at least in my mind, and that's why we won. We took down 2, we didn't lose anybody, and we managed to survive. Now, one thing I do want to say about this is not high elo play. If you're looking for something like that, I will be making a video at some point about who has good channels for stuff like that. This is right now unranked draft play. I hope to get some ranked draft play at some point in, but right now it's unranked. I'm trying to get used to draft. I'm not to even the summoner level yet. Now, what happened there was his hook actually, rather than catching the person, brought me closer to that person so that I could pull off my abilities on them. And if you didn't know, when you use the hook, the dredge line, which is Nautilus's Q, if it hits an object, like a wall, it will catch and pull you to the wall. It also reduces, I believe it reduces the cooldown by half or something like that. But as you can see, I'm building pretty hard tank here. Now, the game's coming to an end because we've shifted the momentum completely. The game started 2-7 in their favor. Now the game is 25-18 in our favor, and we are slowly but surely wearing them down. But the things I wanted to point out is, if you read the chat again, they have Ashe is really nice, really good throughout the game. And another thing that you'll see throughout this game is my attempts at trying to make sure I tank really well and trying to use dredge line as a good skill shot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to making some more videos. This is going to be a weekly thing at least, and what I'm doing right now is trying to get stuff together for my tips and tricks for noobs. Basically, I say the new guys because I know noobs can be offensive, But the new guys, and that tips and tricks, what that's going to be is pretty much just this coming week is going to be sites that you can look on to get a better idea of what builds you should be doing. So thank you. As I said, this is CMonster80, otherwise known as Baymon LOL, and I'm signing out.